Friday to the entire crypto fam. You pretty excited for the weekend? Let me know in the comments. In today's show, we'll be discussing why Bitcoin price is down so much in the past 24 hours as I break down the latest technical analysis. Also breaking news, the UAE free zone to explore Bitcoin payments for corporate registrations, office rent, and other services. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing Coinbase cutting ties with Silvergate, forcing the crypto hedge fund to find a new bank, as well as UK banks HSBC has a nationwide ban on crypto purchases with credit cards. That's right. I'll be breaking down this latest report, as well as Bloomberg strategist Mike McGlone warns that one catalyst can drive the Bitcoin and crypto prices down. I'll be sharing his latest warning, as well as Bitcoin on track to fetch the biggest gains over the coming months based on this one metric, according to Invest Answers. Also in today's show, top trader Crypto Callio predicts a big Bitcoin eruption after impending fakeout and shares his target. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And today's episode is brought to you by the top exchange in the world, which is Binance. Personally, I prefer this exchange because you can actually trade Bitcoin with zero trading fees, making it a no-brainer. They have a special promo running right now where you can get up to $600 as a bonus by using my referral link in the description to get started. And if you're a Binance US user, as I am, make sure to use my Binance US link, as they also have different incentives and bonuses for you to take advantage of as well. And let's get this crypto, shall we? Welcome everyone to podcast episode 1209. I'm your host JV. Today is March 3rd, 2023, and we had quite the big correction in the past 24 hours. I know just like that, I saw 200 million in longs liquidated. So now let's dive in and check out what's happening with the market. As you can see here, Bitcoin pulled back over 4%, currently trading just above 22.3. We have Ether down almost 4%, trading now back under $1,600. Massive losses for Dogecoin, Litecoin, and SHIB. And also checking out coinmarketcap.com, we now have the crypto market cap barely sitting above $1 trillion milestone with about 55 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance back on the decline at 42% even, with the Ether dominance at 18.7%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, SSV up 7.5%, trading at $43.45, followed by Casper up 8%, trading at 4.5 cents, followed by IMX up 7%, trading at $1.05. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, massive losses. You got Ajax down 13%, FTT down 9.9%, Luna Classic down 10.5%. And it's shocking that some of these crypto scams are still even in existence, to be dead honest with you. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we can see we're currently rated a 50, dead in the middle, which is neutral. Yesterday a 51, last week a 53, and last month a 56 in greed. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, like we're witnessing right now. BTFD bought that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. So there you have it. Welcome for everyone just tuning in. How many of you are pretty pumped for this weekend? Do you think we're more likely to dump and retest lower levels, or continue to pump on upwards above 22.3, which is where we're currently at, considering just the other day we were at close to $24,000? Let me know. And now let's break down today's technical analysis and discuss why we have been dumping. The Bitcoin price is down today as the markets react to the fresh FTX fallout, and the Bitcoin bulls failed to defend already weak support. Here you're looking at the Bitcoin one-day candle chart. Bitcoin fell 5% in a single hour overnight into March 3rd, dropping to its lowest levels in over 2 weeks. The largest crypto joined Ether and other major alts in a sharp come down, fueled mainly by concerns over the Silvergate bank saga, which I'll be breaking down in great detail a little later. Analysts continue to see how the move will play out after Bitcoin preserved 22,000 as support. Some are calling for the calm, while others believe that Bitcoin is still due for a deeper retracement. Which camp are you in? Let me know. The main talking point, the cause of the pain for the Bitcoin bulls, comes in the form of Silvergate Bank. F the banks, just saying. Formerly a banking partner for many of the crypto industry's best known names, these have begun reducing or abandoning their partnership with Silvergate amid the possibility that it may be less well capitalized. Those words came from the bank itself, which in a filing of the U.S. SEC this week delayed its annual 10-K report. And on the back of the move, U.S. exchange Coinbase announced it had stopped using Silvergate with Crypto.com. Then following suit, stablecoin giant Circle subsequently stated that it was sensitive to the concerns around Silvergate and was in the process of unwinding certain services with them. Quoting Coinbase letter here, timeline of the crypto crash today. Number 1, Coinbase suspends Silvergate payments. Number 2, the SEC says crypto exchanges are not safe. Number 3, Crypto.com suspends Silvergate payments. Number 4, FTX confirms almost $9 billion in missing funds. And out of the bulk of that, they only had 1 million on record, and they owed literally over 8 billion away. Goes to show you how fraudulent the exchange was, and that Gary Gensler wasn't doing his job, just stating the obvious. And number 5, crypto losses, 200 million plus in hours. That's right, all those longs being liquidated yesterday. This cannot be a coincidence. The episode marks the latest of the long-running debacle, which began with the bankruptcy of the exchange FTX, to which many crypto firms obviously has significant exposure, with the shares of Silvergate's parent company, Silvergate Capital, dropping almost 60% to all-time lows. Talking about a massive crash. Bitcoin nonetheless managed to avoid significant damage. Quoting Blockstream CEO here, Samson Mao, Silvergate is going down and exchanges losing their banking doesn't impact Bitcoin. The collapse of fiat banking for exchanges will just mean buying and trading goes peer-to-peer. Just like in China, there's still a robust peer-to-peer trading ecosystem with the exchanges gone. And he makes a great point considering Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer digital currency, is it not? And a further post argued what's happening to Silvergate now can happen to any bank. That's why it's important to be your own bank. Touche. Now, for some traders, the leg down for Bitcoin was already a matter of time. Bitcoin price action spent weeks trying and failing to overcome resistance above 25,000, resulting in its most stagnant month on record, and with whale liquidity on the exchanges also arguably contributing to the lack of organic price moves. A come down came as little surprise, as Crypto Tony points out here. Update, if we fail to reclaim 23,750 tonight, we're going to dump it for capo and get these shorts moving. And lo and behold, it seems he was correct. And he also said, this is according to Credible Crypto, if they fail to, then my downside target will be met much sooner rather than later. And an accompanying chart showed that target is lying around the 20,000 mark, which is the major psychological resistance and high of the 2017 bull market. Talk about deja vu. A key psychological level originally reclaimed as support back in January, now trading resource skew. Meanwhile, eyed one transaction in particular, which it said caused the majority of the sharp downward moves for multi-week lows for the king crypto, quoting him here. Bitcoin, well, not sharp squeeze, but up. Sharp margin cascade here. It revealed what led this move is a large Binance spot sale directly into the area of stacked up longs on a margin call, and as a measure of how unprepared for the pullback the majority of traders were, long liquidations hit multi-month highs March 3rd. And according to data from CoinGlass, Bitcoin long liquidations alone totaled $72.9 million, and cross crypto liquidations stood at over 205 million. And for some breaking news, which was just on the radar here this morning, the UAE free zone to explore Bitcoin payments for corporate registrations, office rent, and other services as Bitcoin game theory and mass adoption continues around the world. And with that being shared, now let's dive into our next breaking story of the day and discuss the specifics of this Silvergate bank, which was ultimately the cause of the massive price action decline in the crypto markets in the past 24 hours. So here's what's going on. Check it. Silvergate Bank, a prominent lender to crypto firms, lost 5 partners just yesterday alone due to a slew of investigations and lawsuits against it. That's right. Coinbase, Paxos, Gemini, Bitstamp, and Galaxy Digital were some of the most notable crypto firms using Silvergate as their banking partner. However, the termination of service by Coinbase has also forced a crypto hedge fund to look for an alternative banking partner. This is a pretty big deal. On March 3rd, a crypto hedge fund called Digital Asset Capital Management, with assets worth north of $400 million, announced it was looking for a new banking partner in Switzerland post-Silvergate chaos. And they used Silvergate's real-time network to move funds to and from Coinbase's global platform. In a new interview with Bloomberg, their co-founder Richard Galvin said that although certain banks in the U.S. can handle crypto transactions, they are not as crypto-focused as Silvergate. He added that finding a new partner could take time, and they are speaking to some Swiss banks. Now, Switzerland was one of the first countries to regulate and offer banking licenses to crypto banks, and SEBA Bank AG, for example, is a fully regulated institution that secured a banking and securities dealer license from the Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority back in August of 2019. Silvergate was popular with the crypto companies because of its instant and real-time bank transfer services. Thus, moving funds in an absence of such facilities may take longer. In the U.S., Signature Bank seems to be the next popular fintech bank of choice for crypto companies. Coinbase has already shifted its prime customers' banking transfers to Signature Bank. Signature Bank might be the next best choice for the crypto firms, but the question is, for how long? Great question. In December of 2022, Signature Bank announced its intention to withdraw up to $10 billion in deposits from client holding digital assets, starting a general exodus from the crypto sector. The bank had already severed ties with Binance, discontinuing its SWIFT banking services for the crypto exchange. And while crypto companies have always found it difficult to find a banking partner due to the absence of clear regulations around the market, the Silvergate saga has raised the difficulty level of transferring cash to crypto exchanges. I guess that was when we recently heard news where Binance, you can no longer do wire transfers exceeding or less than $100,000. That's because they don't want crypto as business. I think is due to the pressure from the regulators. So I'll be keeping you posted how this continues to play out, and hopefully it doesn't have much of a more drastic impact on the overall crypto market as far as the price action is concerned. And with that being shared, now let's discuss the latest with the UK crypto ban on cards right now, which is quite interesting as well. United Kingdom banks HSBC Holdings and Nationwide Building Society are banning crypto purchases via credit cards for retail customers. They join a growing list of banks in the country to tighten restrictions on digital assets. How many of you are in the UK? Let me know. A Bloomberg report on March 2nd claims the step back is a response to warnings by UK regulators and scandals surrounding the crypto industry. Nationwide, it's reportedly applying daily limits of 5,000 British pounds, which is roughly 6,000 in USD, on debit card purchases of crypto assets, which would ultimately mean you can't purchase more than $6,000 worth of Bitcoin. Insanity. While credit cards will no longer be available for crypto transactions, customers of HSBC were barred from making crypto purchases with their credit cards last month. This is because of the possible risks to customers. Do you think it's because it's a risk to customers or it's a risk to the central banking cartels? That, my friend, is the million-dollar question. Now, other banks, meanwhile, in the UK with restrictions on crypto services are Santander, NatWest Group, and Lloyds Banking Group. Most of the restrictions target the crypto exchange Binance, so it's obvious they're targeting the top crypto exchange in the world. HSBC banned credit card payments to Binance back in August of 2021, citing concerns around the exchange's regulatory status in the country. Meanwhile, authorities in the UK are cracking down on crypto companies. The FCA proposed in February a set of rules that could subject executives of crypto firms up to 2 years in prison if they don't meet certain conditions related to the promotion. Now, crypto asset business marketing, the UK customers, including firms based overseas, must get ready for the regimen, said the watchdog in the statement. Now, the financial authority also stated that all crypto exchange providers, including crypto ATM operators, must be registered and comply with money laundering regulations. A highly anticipated consultation paper from the UK's upcoming crypto regulation was recently released. The proposal aims to establish the UK financial services sector at the forefront of the crypto and avoid strict control measures that have gained traction around the world. The document covers a wide range of topics, including algorithmic stablecoins, non-fungible tokens, and initial coin offerings. So there you have it. I think the crypto crackdown is likely to continue as there are no clear regulations coming out from our authorities. Unfortunately, I feel this is their way for them to manipulate the price action, hence why we still, to this day, in 2023, still have no Bitcoin spot ETF in the United States. Meanwhile, we have a futures ETF, again, so they can manipulate the prices and not protect the crypto investors as they claim. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and at the end of the show, of course, I'm going to read everyone's comments out loud, and we'll be doing a live Q&A and Ask Me Anything session. And with that being shared, now let's break down the latest crash warning from Bloomberg analyst Mike McGlone. Here we go. Bloomberg Intelligence senior macro strategist Mike McGlone says one catalyst can drive the Bitcoin price to the downside. In a new analysis, McGlone said it's the Federal Reserve who continues to raise interest rates to lower inflation despite the risk of a recession. It could put downward pressure on risk assets like Bitcoin, quoting him here. Fed tightening despite the risk recession could be a primary headwind for most risk assets, notably cryptos. Buy and hold investors may warrant some protective insurance for the potential that the bear market isn't over. McGlone also questions whether crypto and equities could dip lower than they would have during the bear markets of 2022. Quoting him again here, what if crypto, equity haven't yet seen their lows? Crypto and equity prices have bounced, which may leave them vulnerable to resuming 2022 downward trajectories. The stock market can be one of the world's most powerful forces when it declines, and Fed tightening amid elevated recession risks are solid headwinds. McGlone says that 25,000 is a key price level for the king crypto, and March may quickly indicate whether crypto will remain resilient despite the Fed's tightening monetary policy. As he shares here, risk versus reward could be tilting towards responsive, tactically focused sellers with around 25,000 and Bitcoin marking pivotal resistance. Crypto needs to show sustainable strength amid concern that the 2022 risk asset lows might not be the bottoms. Now, the federal funds rate a year ago was 0 and is still rising, and markets appear to be underestimating the long and variable lags of monetary policy, which seems ample reason to be defensive. Our inclination is straightforward. Risk assets need to prove resilience. At the start of March, at the federal funds rate was 0 a year ago and is approaching 5%. So there you have it. That is the warning. And now that we got the warning out of the way, now let's discuss some optimistic price targets for the king crypto, starting with some big gains ahead in the coming months, according to crypto analysts Invest Answers. Here we go. Popular crypto strategist is bullish on king crypto over the next couple of weeks and months. The widely followed host of Invest Answers tells his 440,000 YouTube subs in a new video, Bitcoin typically records the biggest gains from April through June. Facts, quoting him here, we might get a positive April or May as we go forward. And again, like anything in any market, things take a breather, but that's interesting. Also, if you look at the average below, April is 36% return on average over the history of Bitcoin, only beaten by November. Now, the reason I stress that, and it's all documented here, you can see in this chart, Bitcoin March returns, assuming 2% gains in 2023, because you don't get the gainers in April unless you buy in March. Makes a good point. If you're not on the train, you can miss that. And again, I'm just looking at the history and explaining how things work. But typically, March is the best month to buy because the next 60 to 90 days, you get the biggest gains. So ultimately saying right now, historically, March is the most epic month to take advantage of these dips. So are you taking advantage of it? Based on Bitcoin's historical return, April has averaged 36% gains, while November has averaged 38% per the chart. And according to the Invest Answers host, the year that best compares to 2023 is 2019, and it produced stellar returns for Bitcoin in 5 months of the first half. Quoting him here, if you try to find the analog of 2023, that would be 2019, and it is off by a month. But if you imagine in 2019, we had February, March, April, May, and June, all positive, which was a 5-month run of all positive numbers. And it's rare. You get that these days, but it could be possible. And also he says that data shows the option traders expect the price of Bitcoin to go up over the coming 2 to 3 months. Quoting him again here, most people are buying calls, and the calls they are buying are 25,000 strikes, 27,000 strikes, and $30,000 strikes, a little bit of 31,000 and 32,000 as well. Heavy bullish action on Deribit. A lot of money going into these future contracts, and this is out to May 26, 2023. So many believe the next 2 months or 3 months will be pretty good, and that is in line with history. And to watch this video he did entitled March Forecast, check the show notes below the video in the description. And with that being shared, now let's dive into our next bullish story of the day and discuss top trader prediction and break this down. And this is coming from Crypto Calio, one of my favorite analysts. Synonymous analyst Calio tells his 500,000 followers that the bears are wrongly claiming Bitcoin is heading to the downside. Instead, he says Bitcoin is only retesting the price of 23 before it will soar. bears are using this lower time frame pullback to try and convince you we're heading lower when it's nothing more than a simple breakout and retest before continuing the send higher. Calio is predicting Bitcoin will break past the 30,000 price level, but he says it may first dip below 20,000, quoting him here. All right, I feel convicted that I have been incredibly too one-sided recently for my lower time frame posts. I fully believe that $30,000 is the magnet, but I could also see this type of scenario play out along that path if the lows from several days ago are swept. And he outlines this chart which shows the Bitcoin price action heading on up to 30,000 and above. And he also says his target price for Bitcoin remains 40 G's, baby, quoting him here. The important thing I've lost sight of since Bitcoin had its high time frame breakout is the effect it had on the low time frame bias. Whether the stops are triggered and we retest a higher time frame trend one more time near 20,000, or we send higher from here, the end target of 40,000 does not changed. So there you have it. And Calio is also predicting that Coinbase shares will skyrocket, reaching more than $400 by June, more than 500% from its current value of only $64.67, quoting him here. SPX on the verge of reclaiming 4,000 after completing a clean retest of high time frame support. Then Sen 4,300 continues soon. B, more bullish. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst that we're going to be heading on up to his 40,000 target, but potentially we could see a drop below 20,000. And also quoting TA Trader Allen, he shares here alongside this chart, Bitcoin fractals comparison, the next target 28,000, and then the next target $50,000 for the King Crypto as outlined here in this chart. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And with that being shared, now let's dive into the live Q&A. Welcome to everyone in the live chat. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Bitcoin Maximus, Megadon, Michael Volkman, what's poppin'? Chill, good to see you as well. Bring facts, always a pleasure. Matthew C, selling with twins. Good to see y'all. Nathan Roth. I'm going to scroll to the top. Andrew 2, Dan Drummond. We got Kevin Harandi. Good to see y'all. Good morning. Hopefully you're pretty pumped for this weekend. We'll see what happens with the price action. I'm hoping we pump. Wow, especially after this pullback. Adam says, wow, I made it 2 days in a row. I appreciate you attending 2 days a row live here in the live chat. Much respect. It was over before the bell rang, says Dankness. CBDCs, no thanks. That's the devil's money. And for those who missed it earlier in the chat, we were discussing that there's a big UFC championship fight for the title tomorrow with John Jones coming back as a heavyweight after a 3-year hiatus. He's going to be battling Serogon, who is a natural heavyweight. I think John Jones is going to dominate him, especially on the ground, maybe end it with some ground and pound or submission, but we shall soon see. And that brought up a conversation that Bitcoin is the true undisputed champ. And I said that CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies, literally stand no chance. So that's what we were referencing there in case you missed it. That's right. CBDCs, no thank you. That's the devil's money. Yeah, and I'm glad to report, as I shared in yesterday's show in Hong Kong, most of the residents want nothing to do with CBDCs as they rolled out the digital yuan, which is basically the Chinese money that they use in the mainland China, the renminbi, but this is the digital version. And they're like, nah, we don't want nothing to do with that. So I hope American citizens and people all across the world do the same thing and say, nah, we don't want this BS. Just give us the real thing, baby, Bitcoin. You feel me? CBDCs wasn't ready, right? Kevin, good morning to you as well. Happy Friday, Dan Drummond. How you doing? Good to see you always. Appreciate your support. I appreciate all the smash likes for those just tuning in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. That helps out tremendously, of course, with the YouTube algorithm. Stalin was good. 50 feels like 40. Word. Are you talking about 40 years old, or are we talking about the price action of Bitcoin? Let me know, because I actually just turned 40 years old a few days ago. Just FYI for the record. Oh no, the alts are crashing. That's why Bitcoin is the king. That's right. So everyone who was like, yo, alts are going crazy right now. I'm 90% alts, only 10% Bitcoin. Now you see the risks. You know, that's why we say it's gambling. Because when the market crashes, yeah, Bitcoin's down 5%, but some of these alts are down 10, 20%. Just like that. That's just the nature of gambling, fam. That's just what it is. I would prefer testing the lower levels, but no matter what, my dollar cost average will continue. Cheers to that, Volkman. I think you got it down right. As long as your Satoshi amounts are going up, who cares about the short-term fiat price action? You know what I mean? It's completely irrelevant. I think those too focused on the price action are missing the boat. Just my 2 Satoshis. I would prefer. Ajax bought me a new car. Congratulations, Swish Main Folk 20. I love hearing victories. I love hearing when people come up. I am not a crypto hater whatsoever. If someone tells me, yo, I just made $1 million on Shiba Inu, I'd be like, well done, fam. Well done. Well done. So congratulations. I love it. I just love seeing people win. That's just in my nature. When other people win, it motivates me to show the world how possible it is for ordinary people to win as well. You don't have to be special. You just got to be willing to take the right action. You know what I mean? And in this case, hodl Bitcoin. I think everyone here who has been a hodler for the past 4 or 5 years is probably in the green, right? Even if you purchased back in 2017, you're probably up because the high was what? 20,000, which was very short-lived in December. And then we crashed all the way down to 3,000. But today we're even up at over 22,000. We've hit an all-time high of 69,000. And everything still remains cyclical with the 4-year cycles. Naturally, when we hit an all-time high, it's the year preceding the halving. So the next halving is going to be first quarter or second quarter of next year in 2024. The year after that, I expect to hit a top. My projection would be above $200,000. I think 222 is a great target, as commonly shared here in the chat. And from Bring Facts, a shout out to Bring Facts. And then I think the following year is going to be a big pullback year, just like we witnessed the year after the top. Right? 2022 was probably like one of the worst years in crypto because in 2021 was mega bullish. What comes up must eventually come down some. It's kind of like a seesaw or a pendulum swinging. So when the pendulum swings to one way, you know what I mean? On one side, it's probably going to swing back the other way because it went up so strong. So I like to think that the cyclical 4-year halving cycles determine the price action because everything in this market in crypto is driven by scarcity. You know what I mean? The block rewards for the miners get cut in half, and then there is a higher demand. There's, it's more scarce. There's less assets. Price goes up. It's just number go up technology. You feel me? Yeah, man. Bitcoin Max SWT was good. Bitcoin Maximus in the building. Late and driving in the rain, but I am here in spirit until I get home. That's what's up, Facts. You're always here in spirit. Appreciate you. Megadon says, good morning, JB, and to the fam. Had a little vodka and sitting at the airport at Palm Springs. Shout out to Palm Springs, California. To go home listening to the show. Recognize the dip and hodl. Safe travels, fam. Don't drink too many vodkas now. Be safe. Here in the UK, the 2 banks had banned purchases off exchanges using your credit card and a limit of 5,000 euros put on purchases off your debit cards. I think that is total BS. I can't believe they're doing that to you guys. Maximus, thanks for bringing it to my attention. I think that is sad, and it just goes to show you how scared the central banking system truly is against Bitcoin and decentralized cryptos in which they cannot control. It just goes to show you, you know what I mean? 5,000 per purchase a month or what? Sterling wants some clarification. Yup, still up. Dollar cost average. That's what's up. I'm in the UK. The banks here suck. It does seem that way. That does truly suck. So what are your options? You got to go peer-to-peer? Hi, fam. Going to have to catch the replay today. Like, for example, realistically, if you wanted to buy a whole Bitcoin today and you're living in the UK, what solution do you have if you can't use the banks? How would you go about purchasing a Bitcoin? Would you have to find someone who has one in their possession and trust them enough and do a peer-to-peer transaction? You can't use local Bitcoins no more. Didn't they close up shop? Which was the top peer-to-peer exchange that has been around since I got into crypto of 2017. So I'm legitimately curious. Obviously, anyone can go to a crypto ATM, pull out a few $100s. But if you wanted to buy an entire Bitcoin right now, what's the solution if you're in the UK? Is there a solution? Let me know. Trini says, let's go 222,000. Send it. Let's freaking go. Probability increases each year. It survives 100%. This recession will give us a good idea on probability in the next 2 to 3 years. Agreed. Let's go 222,000. Send it. Trini says bullish as what? Love to hear that. Dario says I use Revolt. Is that an exchange or Revolut? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but is that a crypto exchange specific for those in the UK, or where do you live? Let me know, Dario. Maximus says selling per transaction. Adam says have to use the online bank, I think. Okay, so you have to use an online bank, but do they allow the transaction over 5,000? As long as you use a bank and you're not using a credit card, is that the loophole? Let me know. I'm curious. Will the banks allow you to purchase an entire Bitcoin in the UK? Just curious. Hi, fam. Going to have to catch the replay. All good, Statwise Janks. I appreciate your support regardless. Thanks for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Central bank digital control. You got it. Facts. Definitely a Bitcoin fake out, says OCB. Benji, let's go Bones. We got some Johnny Bones Jones fans in the house. I know I am one of them. I'm really looking forward to this fight, just FYI. Solution says something is happening. Something's always happening, it seems. You make me feel rich, bro, says James Jones. That's what's good. I appreciate you tuning in. Big Jones in the building. Die hard right here. We got a lot of the Bitcoin OGs. Long term, we're going to laugh at how low 22,000 was. Facts. I agree, Benji. Facts says, I know a guy. He might trade you a biddy for a castle or two. Hilarious. Dario. Yeah, we got a couple Darios in the building. We got Dario Halabarek and Dario Vukov. Are y'all related? Just curious. Bitcoin is the only decentralized crypto. Everything else has a 51% control by the top 100 users, except Cardano. But Cardano is also an ISO 2022 and can be leaned on. Right on, Matthew. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts there. And my next question for everyone in the live chat, which altcoins are you most bullish on for 2023? If any, which ones? I'm curious. Hopefully you name some in the top 100 and not some I've never heard of before. But let me know if you're holding on to any alts and you're still uberly bullish for them for this year. Let me know and I'll read those out loud as well and we'll discuss it. Many banks here in the UK still allow transactions. These that don't are in the minority. My personal bank is still okay with crypto purchases. Okay, good to know. So maybe some of the top banks are no longer offering it in hopes they can get maybe the smaller banks not to accept it. But it's good to note that there is a way because as they say, where there is a will, there is a way. Sailing brings up Matic, which is a second layer scaling solution for the Ethereum blockchain. Probably one of the best performers thus far this year. I'm also pretty bullish on Matic, aka Polygon. Also, they have a lot of partnerships, a lot of big news heading that ways. I know we crossed the dollar more recently. I don't know where the price action is right now. Let's take a look at the chart. Where are we at for Matic right now? Matic, oh, wow, yeah, we're still above $1. We're at $1. Practically $1.17, down 3% for the day. But as you can see, Matic is holding up fairly well for this year, even through the corrections. Still one of the top performers. Let's get back to the chat here. Link and Polkadot, right on. Chainlink, considered the missing link of the blockchain, was one of the top performers, correct me if I'm wrong, back in 2018, which was the year after the parabola we witnessed of the last cycle. And it has been pretty silent. I remember Chainlink was once killing it. Like, where are we at right now? Chainlink is only, oh my God, less than $7. I remember when Chainlink surpassed $50. So it just goes to show you how bad many of these alts truly got wrecked. And they're nowhere even near recovering at this point. They're still down tremendously. If anyone can run the math on that for me, how much is it down considering it was once above $50 like a few years ago? Insane, right? But it goes to show you if you believe in a project right now, you can get it on the low because these prices weren't available a couple of years ago. So you got to do what's best for yourself at the end of the day. I'm bullish on Ethereum, Solana, Matic, and possibly some of the ISO 2022 coins like Quant, Cardano, HBAR, and Algorand, but I am 90% Bitcoin. Love to hear that, Matthew C. So good stuff. All these coins are amongst the top there is. I know my brother is also very bullish on Quant as well. I know Algorand is a great project. Hedera, HBAR as well. So all good projects. Wholematic, ETH, maybe XRP, says Dario. Don't want to admit it, I guess. Why would you say maybe? You maybe hold XRP? Kind of funny. But anyways, same chill, 100%. Fact says, I believe in the God mode pump. Slowly, then Mars, F the moon. I'm with you there. Let's go where no man pretended to go before. F the moon. We have already pretended to go there. Let's go to the Mars already. Hyperinflation happens. What's up, JV? What's up, Gilly? Good to see you, family. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend if we retest potentially $21,000 supports. Or if we just head back on up and retest maybe 24,005 to 25. It seems we're struggling to really break 25.2 to 25.3 very cleanly. I feel once we can flip that resistance into a strong support, 30,000 obviously is inevitable, but it seems like a correction because everyone is long. And when everyone is long, the market maker says we're going low. And we're going to wipe everyone else out, liquidate hundreds of millions of dollars, and get that cheddar. You know what I mean? That crypto cheddar, if you know what I mean. Not your cheese, not your keys. Keep that in mind. Also like to shout out really quick Binance, the top crypto exchange in the world. I know the regulators are pointing fingers at them and they're trying to give them all these allegations. We had Mr. O'Leary pointing the finger at CZ, the Binance CEO, saying the reason that Bankman-Fried and FTX went under is because of CZ. That is not accurate whatsoever. That's nothing more than FUD. Still to this day, Binance is the top exchange in the world for a reason. They have the most liquidity, the most active users, the most transactions, the lowest fees. They even offer zero trading on the top Bitcoin pairs, truly making it a no-brainer. I do have an affiliate partnership, and you'll notice my links in the description below. So if you don't already have a Binance account, take advantage of it. If you're a Binance Global user, you can claim a bonus of up to $600. If you're a Binance US user, use the Binance US link. Is not as the incentive is not as nice, but nonetheless, it's still some free bread. At the end of the day, if you trade $100, you'll get $10 for free, and you'll be on the top exchange in the world. And I also say that to say this: I don't promote any exchange to try to convince you to keep your crypto on there. Use it to execute the trade, remove it, and put it to cold storage ASAP. So there's virtually very little risk whatsoever. What's the likelihood of an exchange collapsing while you're making your trade, which takes you 2 seconds? Very unlikely. Probably 0.00001% chance or something like that. You know what I mean? But there's always risk. There's the same risk if we go to cross the road. There's a small chance you get hit by a car. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? So be prepared the best that you can at the end of the day. And I think you're going to win this game we call crypto. Matthew C., that's why I'm 90%. I want Bitcoin to win. I think it is the only true crypto to free us from the system, but hold 10% on the scammers winning. Word up. I totally understand the logic. I have some moon bags, says Nathan. Word up. Some of my favorites, even though I believe all are securities except Bitcoin. Word up. Well, Gensler is in agreement with you. Maximus says, Matthew, it's all good, my brother. I had a friend started bugging me about Bitcoin in 2012, and I tried in 2013, but didn't have an on-ramp. Ain't that some ish? Is he still hounding you? Did he ever invest into crypto, or is he still on the sidelines? I'm curious. Let me know. It took me 4 years before I saw the light. Holy moly. So Maximus, what year did you first discover crypto and Bitcoin? See, I first discovered it in 2017, and I took action immediately. I actually watched a TED Talk from Andreas Antonopoulos, one of my favorite influencers in Bitcoin and educators, and it was called The Internet of Money or something like that, and it blew my mind. I'm like, this is exactly what the world needs. We need to fight the forces of evil, and the only way to do that is with a decentralized currency, because the forces of evil control you through money. Show me who controls the money supply, and I'll show you who controls the world. You feel me? That's just the nature of reality. We ape mode on Black Thursday 2020, and then had a boating accident. Oh, you too? My crypto got seized by aliens. There was an abduction. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. They're just like, take me to your leader. I'm like, Mr. Biden? They're like, no, do not take me to him. Just give me your Bitcoin. We're out. I'm like, okay, if you want all my Bitcoin, what am I going to do? Maybe I'm joking. Maybe I'm not. Just saying. Gilly, you can invest into Biddy. It goes up when Bitcoin goes down. It's helping me recoup some of the money off the 25,000 high. I'm not familiar with it. Is that like an exchange? BITI? Never heard of it. I remember the day I lost all mine in a boating accident. Wow, a lot of people losing their crypto in alien abductions and boating accidents. What a coincidence. Maybe not. But anyways, fam, let's recap here with the big finish of what I shared with you here today in the show. We discussed the latest technical analysis, as well as why the Bitcoin price is down so much in the past 24 hours. Also shared some breaking news that the UAE free zone to explore Bitcoin payments for corporate registrations, office rent, as well as other services. We discussed the latest of what's happening between Coinbase cutting ties with Silvergate Bank and forcing the crypto hedge fund to find a new bank. We also discussed the latest in the UK with the bank's HSBC with a nationwide to ban crypto purchases with their credit cards, according to the latest report. We also discussed the latest from Bloomberg strategist Mike McGlone, warning that one catalyst can drive the Bitcoin and crypto prices down. I shared his warning. We also discussed the latest from Invest Answers, that Bitcoin is on track to fetch its biggest gains over the coming months based on this one metric, which does not lie. We also discussed the latest from Crypto Calio, predicting a Bitcoin eruption after an impending fakeout, along with his $40,000 target. We also discussed the latest from TA Trader Allen, suggesting suggesting the next short-term target at $28,000, followed by $50,000 per BTC for the King Crypto. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow.